Hello and welcome to another video. So today I am filming my October TBR and I thought I would take full advantage of the fact I have blue hair, and I thought I would get a little Coraline thing going since it is spooky season. I should have really re-dyed my hair because it's faded a little bit, but we're just going to ignore that. It is very hot, so I have my fan on. This is very thin, but it's also like it's a raincoat, so we're just gonna get stuck in. So in October I am going to be taking part in Spoopathon, which is a spoopy readathon hosted by Spoopathon. I will make sure I leave her announcement video in the description box below. There are different teams and I am going to be on team Ghostbusters, which is Rose's team. Again, I'll leave her link in the description box below. And I have pledged to go through the haunted house twice because I am a glutton for punishment, clearly. So I have picked the books, I've picked my paths, I've picked the books, and I do have a few additional books on top of the ones I'm reading for the readathon, because this is me, of course I do. Why would I have a small TBR? This is also the reason that I am only doing one readathon in October. There are so many readathons in October, but I'm just sticking with the one this time. But I am excited for the books I have picked. They are mostly spooky season vibe books. I took full inspiration from my spooky TBR that I posted very recently, which I will leave the link to in the description box below if you want some inspiration for some books. But I'm just gonna first off go through the paths I'm taking. So the first entrance into the house I will be partaking in is going to be the Gifted to You path. So for Gifted to You, I am going to read Wendy Darling by AC Wise. This was gifted to me by the publisher a few months back, and I didn't get around to reading it because my life got very chaotic, not in a good way, and I just wasn't prioritizing this. But this is a dark Peter Pan retelling, and I'm really excited to see what it brings to the Peter Pan story because we love a dark retelling. So this will also get me bonus points because it's going to be spooky because it's dark. So yes. Next up is Autumnal Cover, and for this I'll be reading She Who Become the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. This is very autumnal, you can't convince me otherwise, I'm sorry. And this will get me bonus points because this is LGBTQ+, so bonus points, yay. This is also Rose Patreon book club pick for, I think it's September, October, so I'll be happy to get this one done pretty early in the month. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm hoping it's as good as everyone has been saying. Next up we have 500+ pages, and for this I will be picking The Ghost Tree by Christina Henry. This is chunky. It is, I can tell you, it's 507 pages, so it only just hits the prompt. But this will also class as bonus points for spooky, so I'm getting those bonus points in where I can, because although I can move past ghosts, I cannot move past doors without the points, so I'm getting as many bonus points in for these books as possible. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this. I love Christina Henry's books that I've read so far, and this one just seems really spooky, so I'm looking forward to this one. Next up we have Diverse Rep, and for this I'll be reading Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. You knew I was getting this on my TBR no matter what, like it was gonna happen. This has a Latinx main character and also a trans main character, so this definitely fits for Diverse Rep. It also fits for LGBTQ+ and spooky, so I'm getting bonus points there. I'm really excited to read this. I specifically have been saving this for this spooky season because I got it, I think it was like the end of October last year, so I didn't quite manage to get it in time for last year's spooky season, but this year I have been saving it for. And then to depart the house and escape for the first time, I have to read a book after dark. So obviously I wanted to try and pick a slightly smaller book that I can read in kind of like one evening. So for this I'm picking Small Spaces by Katherine Arden. This is a spooky middle grade, and I've heard it is very, very spooky. So I'm excited to finally read this, and it's very short. I'll easily do this in an evening. So yeah. Next up, I'll be going back into the house. Doors and ghosts and everything are no longer there, because on your second go through the house, you can just go. You don't have to get extra points. I'm still getting bonus points for most of these. It was an accident, but it happened. So I will be going through the path that starts with Comfort Reread. And for Comfort Reread, I'll be reading Bitter Blood by Rachel Kane. This is the 13th book in the Morganville series, which I have been buddy reading all this year with my mum and my sister. And I'm really excited for this one because I do not like books 11 and 12, but books 13, 14 and 15 are top tier. I love them. This is a bit of a chunkier one. Oh, it's not that chunky. It's only about 50 pages more than the last few. But yeah, this counts for spooky because obviously it's vampires and it gets pretty creepy at points. And also it will be a buddy read. So yes, very happy with this one because yay. Next up we have a graphic novel, and for this I will be picking Buffy Volume 2. So this is Once Bitten. This is the modernised reboot of the Buffy series. I love the artwork in this. I love it. And this will get me bonus points for spooky because like it's spooky. It's got vampires, it's got everything. And also LGBTQ+ because Willow is actually already out in the beginning of this one, which makes me really happy because in the TV show she doesn't come out until season 4 or 5. It's quite late in the seasons, whereas this one she's already out and she has a girlfriend, so this counts for LGBTQ+ as well. The next one is new genre. Now my mum and my sister are going to be very happy about this one because I'm finally going to read The Drowning Pool by Sid Moore. This is adult paranormal witchy ghosts, which I don't usually read adult paranormal, but I have heard very good things from my mum and sister about this one. I've met the author. She is so lovely. And her books sound so good. So I'm looking forward to finally diving into this. Next up is Trick or Treat. Now, I have not done the poll yet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the poll on Twitter and maybe on Instagram as well. And if you want to comment below what one you think, which book, I'm not going to tell you which one's a trick and which one's treat. But the options are Your Turn to Die by Sue Warman and The Bone Garden by Heather Kasner. I do actually want to read both of these, so technically they're both treats, but I do want to read one more than the other. So trick or treat, which one shall I pick for this one? And then again, I will have to read it after dark, read an entire book after dark. And for this one, I'm going to read Vampires Never Get Old, which is a collection of short stories by various different authors. It is edited by Zoraida Cordova and Natalie C. Parker, who also have co-written one of the short stories in this. And it also has a short story from V.E. Schwab. And I am very much looking forward to reading these. Whether I finish it in one night, I don't know. But it can be one that I just pick up one evening, and if I don't finish it, I'll wait till the following evening when it's dark again to pick it up. So this is my second escape from the haunted house option. So that was my mandatory readathon picks. Now I'm going to go through the non-readathon picks, which are just buddy reads that I will be doing. So for the first one, I don't know yet whether we are going to be buddy reading this in October. It will completely depend on if we manage to both fit it in. But me and Liv are hoping to buddy read As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. This is the third book in the Good Girls Guide to Murder series, and we have both really enjoyed the first two books. We buddy read the second book, so we decided we wanted to buddy read the third book. So I'm not sure yet if we will get to it. You'll find out in my vlogs throughout the month, but fingers crossed. If not, we will push it through to November, so it will end up on my November TBR. So yeah. Next up is my most mandatory read of the month, and it's because I co-host the live show, and that is The Toll by Neil Schusterman. This is the third and final book in the Arc of a Scythe trilogy. We read Scythe, or we did the live show for Scythe in August, and this month in September we're currently reading Thunderhead, so The Toll will be in October, and the live show for this will probably be like round about the first weekend of November. We'll see, but very excited, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I will be buddy reading this with my mum and my sister because we've been buddy reading Thunderhead. So, but this is so chunky, it's going to take longer. The next buddy read is going to be Shadowghast by Thomas Taylor. This is the third and final book in the Aerion Sea trilogy. I will be buddy reading this with Helen over at Helen's Bookhaven. I'm very excited. I love buddy reading with Helen. It's so much fun. We've mostly, actually, is it mostly read? We've mostly read middle grades, and it's just so much fun chatting with her and reading. So I'm excited to, one, read this book because it's an anticipated fave for the year, and two, but do another buddy read with Helen. So, and it's going to be quite short because it's a middle grade. And then I'm going to be buddy reading a book with Lisa from Lisa Does Life, which it's probably my most intimidating book on my TBR, and that's Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. This is, do you know what, it's not even the size that intimidates me, it's the reviews I've seen. I've said a few times that I've seen some amazing reviews, like some people absolutely love this, but then I've also seen some people absolutely hate it to the point they either 1-star it or DNF it. And I have similar taste to both those types of people, so I'm not sure at all what side of the scale I'm going to be on. I think I'm also intimidated by it because it's historical, and I don't read a lot of historical, but I think buddy reading it is going to help a lot and help me not give up so quickly if I feel like I'm not enjoying it straight away. But I'm excited to buddy read this with Lisa and for us to both get a chunky one off of our TBR. And then I'm gonna say this is the final book because I think it's the final book. No, it's not. I've got two more books. No, I've got 3. So I want to try and read the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. I also have the audiobook for this, so I might be able to do a little bit of a mixed media reading. This is for the Brokenearthalong, which is taking part October to December. We read one book in the trilogy each month. And it's hosted by, I'm really sorry, I cannot remember all 3 people that are hosting it, but it's co-hosted by Charlotte over at Clumsy Charlotte, but I will also link the other, I think it's 2 or 3 people in the description box below as well, and I'm really sorry. But yeah, I'm hoping to read this, but if I don't, I'm not going to beat myself up, but I feel like a read along is the only thing that's going to push me to actually pick it up, because I've got the whole trilogy and have had the whole trilogy for about 3 years now. So hopefully I'll finally pick it up. Then we have Frostheart 3 by Jamie Littler. This is the third and final book in the Frostheart trilogy, and I don't think I'm ready for it to be over. I've loved this trilogy, but the Frostheartalong is being hosted by Gavin over at How to Train Your Gavin, and I didn't join in August and September because I have fairly recently read Frostheart 1 and 2 and didn't have time to reread them. But they are pretty fresh in my mind, and I'm looking forward to taking part in the read along for the final book. And then the final book on this TBR, which is going to be the one that I think is going to destroy me the most. I'm going to be buddy reading this with my friend Kelly, and it is Ship of Destiny by Robin Hobb. This is the third and final book in the Live Ships Traders trilogy, and I've actually really enjoyed this trilogy. I am still reading The Mad Ship at the moment, but I will finish it before the end of the month. And I don't know where this is going, but the second book is already like worrying me, and I've seen people's reactions to Ship of Destiny, so we'll see, but I am looking forward to reading it. I've got the audiobook, or rather I'm getting the audiobook, and I will also get the physical copy out of the library. But yeah, that is my TBR. I don't think I have the energy to hold up all these books. Let's try. Okay, so oh my god. So it's all of these plus Ship of Destiny, which is huge, plus Frostheart 3, which isn't as big, and then plus whichever book gets picked on my trick or treat. My arms are literally shaking, so I'm gonna put this pile down. Okay, so please wish me luck. This is gonna be interesting. Should we see if we can do it? I don't think I'm gonna, but I'm gonna give it a bloody good try. But I'm also gonna like try and like do some fun, just spooky things, like watching like Halloweeny movies throughout the month and things like that. On the 9th of October, Lisa over at Lisa Does Life is going to be hosting a 24-hour readathon, where we do some reading sprints and we do some like drinking games and stuff, and we're going to be live for most of it, if not all of it. It will be kicking off at midday on Saturday the 9th. That's BST time. And I'm very excited for it, and I'm excited to be joining her. So thank you, Lisa, for inviting me to join you on that. But having said that, I am going to wrap this up now because I have been talking a lot and I need to get this off because it is really hot. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below if you've read any of these books and if you enjoyed them. Obviously no spoilers. Let me know which book out of these two you think I should read, and let me know if you're taking part in any readathons in October. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I hope you have an amazing reading month, a very spooky season, and I will see you next time. Bye.